not mutually incompatible to point A, they are to point B. What I mean is that it's a timeline. The left wants to tear down Western civilization because it thinks it's unequal. The radical Muslims want to tear down Western civilization because they think it's evil. So to the point of tearing down Western civilization, they're pretty much on the same page. It's where they go from there that's a problem. Right? One side wants to build a caliphate and the other side wants to build a communist utopia. The reason that the left is routinely, and it's almost invariable, that the left ends up siding with the world's worst human beings in every situation.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, communists don't want to create a utopia, all right? What you're describing is utopian socialism, which was an attempt at socialism by the Narodnaya Volya. However, the communists that you speak of, Marxists and Leninists, they believe in scientific socialism, which is the complete opposite of utopian socialism. So the statement alone, communist utopia, is in itself an oxymoron. Second of all, what do you mean that the left is always willing to ally with the worst of the worst people? That statement is historically inaccurate. The right, especially the far right, is well known to ally with the worst of the worst people. For example, the far right, such as Hitler, allied with people such as Mussolini, or far right, such as Mussolini, allied with people like Hitler or Japanese fascists, etc. And you yourself, as a right winger, support the genocidal regime in Israel. So, who are you to accuse leftists of something like that? And third of all, you speak of Islam as this one version, radical Islam. All right, we acknowledge that radical Islam is something that exists. Okay, ISIS, for example. However, there are 2 billion Muslims in the world, and all of them, or most of them, more than definitely more than 2 billion, oppose ISIS and condemn ISIS. So the fact that you are placing Muslims in general in the category of radical ISIS members is ridiculous and is disrespectful to all 2 billion Muslims around the world, a lot of whom, by the way, are seculars.